I'm going to be showing you how to that.
You can show me how to that? I want to know how to that.
Hello friends, fellow artists, and Art League family. This is William McMahon. I'm here at the Murray Hill Art Center. Today I'm going to be doing a demonstration on how to render a human nose in a general generic manner from straight on. Hope everyone enjoys the video. For a nose being drawn from straight on, really a nose being drawn from any angle, I'm going to try to give myself a bit of context by sketching in the eye sockets. We think about generically, if we think of the face as being about 5 eyes across, eye widths, we can think of sort of one eye. I try to conceptualize eye sockets as being kind of a mixture of a circle and a square, a more organic square or a more geometric circle, however it's easiest to kind of process and conceptualize. Not going to spend too much time on that. Next, what I'm going to do is I am going to establish my light source, which is going to be in the upper left. When it comes to rendering the bridge of a nose, it's a tricky thing to render, and I rely exclusively on light source. And so if my light source is upper left, I'm going to come from the upper part of the inner right eye socket. I'm going to come down. And this is a general generic nose. Everyone is going to be different. But about halfway down the bridge of the nose, you're going to have this cartilage sticking up. It's going to be a little bump. I'll come down. And then I think of the ball of the nose as really like a sphere. In general, people have the tendency in their drawings to make the ball of the nose too small rather than too large. So I would encourage everyone to be mindful of that tendency. I've observed that through teaching drawing for many years. Generally, generically, the edge of the nostril is going to be occurring somewhere close to the tear duct, and that's going to vary from person to person based on eye placement, nose placement, shape and size and angle of the different features. Something like that, in that general realm. I think of a sphere for the ball of the nose, and then like semicircles for the nostrils. And I will, even though this is a nose demo, sort of instinctively put in my outer eye socket, cheekbone, brow ridge, temporal ridge. I think of that as the mask, and then my philtrum. Okay, now I'm going to return back to the nose. Light source upper left. I think of the bridge of the nose as being sort of 3 planes. You can soften it back down, but we can think of one plane being here, one plane being here, and then one plane being there. And so with my light source in the upper left, I am going to shade on the right side of the bridge of the nose. And I'm going to do so in approximately a 45-degree angle. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take the viewer's eye down this plane before it reaches the plane of the kind of cheekbone, which is going to flatten out. The deepest part of the human face is the upper inner eye socket. Lean nice and dark there. Sphere, semicircle. Here I'm going to go in and block in the shape of the nostril opening. Right here, I try to over-exaggerate how thick the flesh of the nostril is to show the viewer that it's not paper thin. With any specific person, the size of the ball of the nose, the size of the nostrils, the shape, the tilt, whether they're leaning upward more or leaning down more, all that's going to vary from person to person. So this is just general generic. I have my sphere. I'm going to now think even more about light source. I'm going to return. I'm going to minimize the edge where the light is hitting along this side, the left side. Now, I draw these shapes out, but then I break it down because they meld together in reality. And now I'm going to start doing some shading. I'm going to shade the ball of the nose as I would a sphere. And with my light source being upper left, I instinctively begin rendering on the lower side, and specifically the lower right side. I'm doing some cross-hatching, but each one of my marks is following a contour. We think of contour as line following form. Any kind of mark that we make can further inform the viewer. This nostril, the ball of the nose, is protruding out furthest from the face. This nostril is going to be set behind it. I leave a thin little highlight there along the edge, even if I don't observe it, to try to show the viewer again. That would be sort of a reflective highlight that the nostril flesh is not paper thin. Following my contours. At this point, no real details and no value range. I'm giving idea of where my shadows are going to be, and I am giving myself sort of a map for the direction of my marks. I'm thinking about contours and where shadows will take place. The nose is protruding off the face. The light source being on the upper left is going to lead me to the knowledge that there's going to be cast shadow both beneath the nose and specifically to the right side of the nose. We're always thinking about light source, how light hits objects, where highlights are created, where shadows are created on objects, and how and where shadows are cast from objects. And again, we're trying to develop the idea of the human head, even the human form in general, as being a collection of shapes fitting together to create a larger whole. We practice still life drawing with light source to understand how these, as I mentioned a moment ago, highlights and shadows are created and cast. Then we apply that knowledge to other forms. The nostrils are going to be an orifice, so we're going to lean nice and dark on the opening of the nostrils, although when I'm doing a portrait drawing, I do not lean as heavily on the nostril openings as I do on the pupils of the eyes, because I want to take the viewer towards the pupil. People will often say that the eyes are the gateway to the soul. I have not heard people refer to as the nostrils as a gateway to the soul, but I don't get out that much. Do a little horizontal contours for the dip and the philtrum. Take the viewer down that little dip. Reinforce. At this point, I have all of my information down. Again, upper inner eye socket, deepest part of the human face. It's not an orifice. I have a lot of information down now that I can use while considering light source to push my shadows and to create a range of value. If we want our drawings to appear the most three-dimensional, we're going to want rich darks, bright whites, and a range of grays. There's not going to be a solid line there for that bridge of the nose, so I'll go and erase that. I'll make a little bit of a soft transition with my directional contour mark making. And I would encourage you all to get in the habit of rotating your paper or canvas regularly. Try to make your marks with your pencil or your paintbrush as natural and comfortable as you can. At this point, value range, pushing in that department, adding details, nuancing. Those are going to be the next steps in the drawing. In future tutorials, I will show nose renderings from different angles. But I hope that today has been beneficial and informative. Please feel free to comment, ask any questions, and please consider subscribing to our channel, Art League Online with the Art League of Jacksonville. Rio David is doing an amazing job facilitating and leading this new exciting movement for us. I miss everybody. Can't wait to get back into the Art Center with everyone. Thank you all so much for checking out the demonstration on drawing a human nose, generically from straight on. Please consider subscribing to our channel, Art League Online. We're working really hard to bring you guys great content. Any comments are appreciated. We love getting likes. So thank you for checking out the video, and we'll see you next week.